Hey Emily, how are you? We got the headset on. Can you hear me okay? Oh, nice. What kind of chairs is it? Or chairs? New chairs, so there's more than one. But what kind is it that's helping your back and your knees? Yep, I remember my headphones today. I made sure everything was ready for me last night. Put it by my computer so I wouldn't forget. It was much better. Yeah, really low. That makes sense. Oh, the recliners are super nice. That's got to be so helpful to have. Just sit back. I wish I could sit in a recliner more often. My parents have this couch that on one side is their super nice recliners with their cup holders and everything, and then on the other, and then they've got it has a corner, but then on the other side it has more recliners, not with the cool cup holder, but I don't sit on it very often because my dog wants to play all the time. So I'm usually sitting on the floor with him. Sometimes I would really like to just sit on the couch. It's the same at my house, though. I really love the couch that we have, but I don't sit on it as much as I would like because my dog wants me on the floor playing with him. And I just give in and do it. Especially at night. He doesn't want to cuddle very much. He's a cuddler right now. All he wants to do is curl up in this blanket right here. But the recliners, I bet, are super nice. Nice. I agree with that. That's nice. And to recline back and cuddle, even better. I like that. It's kind of fun because the way the recliners are on the one side without the cup holders, there's only like two seats, but they're really big. So we can usually get all three, me and my sisters on it. And we just kind of like when we're all wanting to lay on the couch or something, we can all just put it. We have to make sure it's at the same height on both sides, but like one person gets to sit right in the middle, and it's really not that bad. Kind of fun. This is definitely very different talking to you this way instead of over Zoom. Yeah, something like that. It seems like it's like a 2.5 seater. I don't know. They're actually pretty big. I think we could probably fit some more people on. I don't know if we really wanted to, but it gives us enough room in between all of us. They're giant seats because I want to say like one one seat is probably about that big, and then you have another one next to it. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that would be really hard. Could you like ship anything from the US? Dang. Yeah, that would be. I bet it's like the shipping costs would be pretty crazy too. Let's see, what time is it? We are at 7:05. We'll go ahead and get started. Let me just make sure the camera is still good. Today we're doing Goddess Flow. And I named it Goddess Flow mostly because we do Goddess a couple times through the flow. But it's a good one. I think we've done it before, Emily, but it's been a while. So it'll be fun to do it again. Go set my drink down. And then let's come to a comfortable seated position on our mats. You can cross your legs here, or you can bring one foot out in front of the other. Or do a weird hybrid of both. Place your hands on your knees with your palms face up. Bring your spine over your hips and your shoulders over your hips. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down, away from your ears. Tuck your chin slightly, close your eyes, and start to notice your breath. You notice how your breath feels as you're breathing in and out. Not making any changes. Bring your attention to that space between your upper lip and your nose. Just bring attention and focus to our breathing right now. Take a deep inhale slowly. And hold your breath at the top. Sigh it out. Inhale. Hold it. Sigh it out. One more time. Inhale. Take one more sip at the top. Hold it. Sigh it out. Close your mouth. Start to breathe in and out through your nose. Add a slight constriction to the back of your throat. Add in your Ujjayi breath. Creating that internal heat. Let your breath be your guide for your practice today. Let it be your focus as you're in these poses, holding them, moving through them. Let your breath help you meditate and bring your focus and awareness to here and now. Keeping your eyes closed, bend your head forward, bringing your chin to your chest. Letting yourself feel that stretch through the back of your neck, letting your head hang here. And swing your head over to the right side so that your right ear is a little bit closer to your shoulder. Bring your chin back to your chest and over to the left. So your left ear is closer to your shoulder. Continuing to breathe here. Bring your chin back to chest. Slowly lift it all the way back up to center. Blink your eyes open. And bend your head to the right. Again, bringing your ear closer to your shoulder. And then bring it back to center and over to the left. Back to center. Place your right fingertips on the mat, reaching your hand away from you. And bend your head to the left. If you want a little extra stretch here, place your left hand on top of your head. Not pressing hard, maybe just a slight nudge toward your shoulder. And release. Place both hands back on your knees. Place your left fingertips on the mat beside you, reaching your hand away from you. And tilt your head to the right. If you want a little extra tension here, place your right hand on top of your head and press it very slightly here. And release. Bring both hands back to your knees. Roll your shoulders up and back. Let's do that a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's go forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reach your hands out in front of you and bend the wrists so that your palms are facing forward and your fingertips are up. And press through your wrists here, stretching your wrists away from you so you can feel that stretch. And then your wrist the other direction, so your palms are now toward you and your fingertips towards the floor. Continue to stretch through your wrists. And rotate your wrists out. 1, 2, 3, and in. 1, 2, 3. Place your hands back on your knees. Find that breath again. Find your way to a neutral tabletop position on your mat. With your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, your feet are behind your knees also. So everything is hip width distance apart on your lower half, and on your upper half, your hands are under your shoulders. Inhale, look forward as you arch your back. And exhale as you round your back, looking toward your belly button. Inhale forward, letting your heart shine forward. And exhale, pressing your hands and your knees to the mat as you round your spine. Inhale forward. As you press your knees and your hands closer to each other. Exhale. Inhale. Maybe looking up a little bit higher on the wall in front of you. Exhale. Back to a neutral spine. Inhale your right hand forward and your left foot back. So your right hand is extended forward, left foot extended back. Inhale again. And exhale, bring your knee and elbow to meet in the center as you round your back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, meet in the middle. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. And place your hand and your knee back on the mat. Inhale your left hand forward and your right leg back. And exhale, bring your knee to elbow to meet in the middle. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. And place your hand and your knee back on the mat. Make sure your hands are still underneath your shoulders with your fingertips pointing toward the front of the mat. Your fingertips are spread wide. Press your palms into the mat. Tuck your toes. Press your toes into the mat as you lift your knees and your hips up, coming into downward facing dog. Since this is our first downward facing dog of the day, or this flow, let's set this up correctly. So look forward at your hands. Make sure your pointer finger is pointed toward the front of the mat. Hands are spread wide. Rotate your elbows in and up. Avoid hyperextending your elbows. Bring your shoulders away from your ears. Bend your knees as you lift your heels and lift your hips up, straightening your spine, and then straighten your knees. And place your heels back on the mat. Keep your knees slightly bent here to avoid a hyperextension. Continue to breathe here, coming back to that Ujjayi breath. Inhale your right leg up to three-legged dog. And exhale, bend your knee, stack your hips here, opening up your hips. Rotate your ankle one direction 3 times. And the other direction 3 times. Draw a circle with your knee one direction 3 times. And then the other direction 3 times. Extend your leg back up to three-legged dog. Now place your foot back on the mat. Downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up to three-legged dog. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Rotate your ankle one direction 3 times. And then the other direction 3 times. Draw a circle with your knee one direction 3 times. And then the other direction 3 times. Extend your left leg. Set it back on the mat. Turning back to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog is where we'll start our flow today. Inhale your right leg up to three-legged dog. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Keeping your chest square to the mat. Extend your right leg again. And swing your foot through in between your hands. Place your left knee on the mat. Keep your toes tucked. Inhale your arms up to a low lunge. Let's hold this for a few breaths. Pull your weight through your thigh. Press your toes into the mat as you inhale all the way up to crescent lunge. Here in crescent lunge, make sure that back leg is straight. Your heel is up in the air. Your hips are squared to the front of the mat. Your front knee is over your ankle. Belly away from your thigh. Chest up. Arms strong. Shoulders away from your ears. Set your back foot down, rotating it 90 degrees. Bring your arms out wide, coming into Warrior 2. In Warrior 2, knee is still stacked over ankle. The front back leg is straight, with your weight in the blade edge, that outside edge of your foot. Belly's up your thigh. Hips and shoulders square to the left side of the mat. Look forward at your front middle finger. And windmill your arms down. Right arm coming down first, followed by left. Bring your right foot. Step back to plank. Lower to chaturanga. Upward dog. And downward dog. Inhale your left leg up to three-legged dog. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Keeping your chest square to the front of the mat. Extend your leg again. Bend your knee as you swing your foot through all the way to the front. So your foot is in between your hands. Bring your left or right knee down to the neck, your toes tucked. Inhale your hands up to low lunge. Breathe here. Keep your belly away from your thigh. Back with your back toes tucked. Press your toes into the mat as you lift that back knee up and your hips up, coming into the crescent lunge. Back leg is straight. Bring that heel up a little bit more to help you maintain your balance. Hips square to the front of the room, or the front of your mat. Your shoulders away from your ears. Keep your arms strong here, so not just kind of floppy here, up above your head. You want to keep them strong so your muscles are activated here. Set that back foot on the mat, turning it 90 degrees, so your toes are facing the right side of your mat. And bring your arms out in the front and the back. Left hand in front, right arm in back. Coming into warrior two. Continue to bend into this front knee, keeping your knees stacked over your ankle. Back leg weight is in the blade edge of your foot. And your chest and hips are turned toward the right side. Arms are strong here, keep them parallel to the mat. And look forward at your front middle finger. Windmill your arms down, bring your left down first, followed by your right, bringing your left foot. Step back to plank. Forward chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. Inhale your right leg up to three-legged dog. Stack your hip, bend your knees, stack your hips. Send that leg back to three-legged dog. Swing your foot through in between your hands. Lower your back knee. Bring your hands up to low lunge. Press your back toes into the mat as you come up into crescent lunge. Set the back foot on the mat to come into warrior two. Rotate your right foot and your left foot. So they're now facing the side corners of your mat, and squat down, coming into goddess squat. Press your knees out, bring your arms up, your elbows are bent at 90 degrees, and your palms facing the ceiling. Straighten your knees. And bring your toes so you're facing the side of the mat. Arms out either side of you, straight, parallel to your mat, and hinge at the hips. Bring your chest forward and you bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Someday I'll have a bigger room and you'll be able to see my hands a little bit better in front of you. Make sure your glutes and your thighs are activated here. Grab onto your big toes with your peace fingers. Inhale to a flat back and exhale, fold. You can adjust here as needed. If your head is really close to the mat, bring your feet in a little bit closer. If your head is really far away, widen your stance. Elbows out to the side. Continue to keep your glutes Your thighs active here. Pressing your hips up helps you bend a little bit more into this hold. And inhale, bring your hands back under your shoulders. Bring your stance wide if you shortened it, or if you widened it, bring your feet back a little bit closer together. Hands under your shoulders, bend to your hips. Slowly come all the way up. Rotate your toes out again so they're facing the corners as you come back into your goddess squat. Straighten your knees again. Bring your toes parallel to each other, hands out wide. Hinge at the hips as you twist to your right, reaching your left hand to touch your right ankle. Right hand is extended toward the ceiling. Let your chest shine as you twist to the right. Look up at your right hand extended toward the ceiling. And then release. Come back to parallel so your chest is up, your spine is straight and flat, and you're still hinged at the hips. Bring your hands out wide. Inhale. And exhale. Start to twist to the left, bringing your right hand to your left ankle and your left hand extended toward the ceiling. Let your heart shine forward if you come into this twist, or shine up. And release. Bring your hands back under your shoulders, into your hips. Slowly rise all the way back up to a standing position. Rotate your left foot so it's now facing the back of the mat. Bend into that knee. Bring your arms out wide, coming into warrior two at the back of the mat. When you move your arms down, bring your left hand first, then followed by your right. Bringing your left foot, step back to plank. We're chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. Continuing to breathe here. Inhale your left leg up to three-legged dog. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Back to extension. And swing your foot through in between your hands. Lower your right knee. Inhale your hands up to a low lunge. Bring your back toes flexed. Press your right toes into the mat as you lift your hips, coming up into crescent lunge. Set that right foot on the mat 90 degrees, come into warrior two. And turn both feet to face the side of your mat. Toes out wide so that your toes are looking at the corners of the mat. Heels in. Squat, bringing your hips down low. Arms come out to the side. Bend at the elbows, bringing that 90-degree angle here in the elbow. And palms face up, bringing that 90-degree angle here in the wrists. Straighten your knees. Parallel your feet. Bring your arms out wide and hinge at the waist. Bring your chest forward. Hands underneath your shoulders. Grab your big toes with your peace fingers. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale back up to a flat back. Rotate your feet out first, coming into, so your toes are facing the corners of the mat. As you squat, bring your chest up, and then your arms out wide. So coming out of this a little bit different than we did last time. And straighten your knees again. Parallel your feet. Arms out wide. Come all the way forward. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Keeping your glutes and your thighs active here. Inhale, your hands back up to parallel, so they're parallel to the mat. Exhale and inhale. And exhale, bring your left hand to your right ankle as your right hand extends toward the ceiling. Release, come back to parallel, your hands hovering here. Inhale again. Exhale, bring your right hand to your left ankle. Bring into this twist. Letting your heart shine up. And release, hands back to parallel, hovering above the mat, and slowly come all the way back up. Rotate your right foot so it's facing the front of the mat. Come into warrior two, back at the front of your mat. Then wheel your hands down to the mat, framing your right foot. Step back to plank, lower to chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. Inhale your right leg up to three-legged dog. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Straighten your leg, swing your foot through in between your hands. Lower the back knee, come up into a low lunge. Press your back foot into the mat as you come up into crescent lunge. Warrior two. Goddess pose. Straighten both feet or knees and make your feet parallel. This time bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, press your palms together. Inhale and exhale, hinge at the hips, bringing your chest forward, keeping that spine straight. Come all the way into your forward fold as you lift your hands up over your head, continuing to keep your palms pressed together here. So we come up to a flat back, so your chest is still hovering above your mat. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Bend your left elbow and place your forearm on the mat. If this is not quite available to you, you can place your hand on the mat here, just below your face. And inhale your right arm up to the ceiling, extending that hand away from you as you come into this twist. And release your right hand back down to the mat. Bend your right elbow, place your forearm on the mat, or again, if that's not quite available to you, place your right hand on the mat below your face. And inhale your left hand up toward the ceiling. And release both hands down to the mat under your shoulders. Turn your toes out as you turn your heels in. Squat down as you lift your chest, coming back into your goddess squat. Straighten both knees. Turn your right foot in so it's parallel to the front of the mat as you turn your left toes toward the back of the mat, coming into warrior two at the back. Place your right hand on your right thigh and inhale your left arm up, coming into reverse warrior. Look up at your left hand. Come back to warrior two. Straighten your left knee. Lean forward slightly and hinge at the waist. Bring your left hand down. You can place your left hand on your foot, on your shin above your ankle. So avoid placing it on your ankle. You place it on the mat on the inside or on the outside of the mat. Choose whichever is best for you. Avoid hyperextending your knee and inhale your chest open as your right hand is extended toward the ceiling. Look up at your right hand. Bend back into your left knee as you bring your body all the way up into warrior two. Turn both feet so they're facing the corners of your mat on this side. Come back into your goddess squat. Straighten your knees. You're going to do 3 squats. So come back to goddess for 1, straighten, goddess for 2, straighten, goddess for 3, straighten. Then come back to warrior 2 at the back of the mat. Windmill your hands down to the mat, bringing your left foot. Step back to plank, lower to chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. Inhale your left leg up to 3-legged dog. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Extend your left leg. Swing your foot through in between your hands. Lower your back knee. Inhale your arms up to a low lunge. Press your back toes into the mat as you lift up into crescent lunge. Warrior 2. Goddess pose. Bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers, press your palms together. Straighten your legs. Bring your toes in parallel to each other. Inhale and exhale. Hinge at the waist, coming into a forward fold. Bring your hands up over your head. Slowly come up to a flat back so your chest is still hovering above the mat. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Bend your right elbow. Place your right forearm on the mat, or you can place your hand underneath your face. Inhale your left arm up, extending toward the ceiling. And release. Bringing both hands back under your shoulders. Bend your left elbow, place your left forearm on the mat with your palm face down, or place your hand under your face. And inhale your right arm up to the ceiling. And release. Bring both hands underneath your shoulders. Bend your knees, turn your feet out so they're facing the corners of the mat. Bend your knees and slowly rise up into goddess pose. Straighten your knees. Turn your right toes to face the front of the mat. As you turn your back toes parallel at 90 degrees, come into warrior 2 at the front of the mat. Place your left hand on your left thigh and lift your right arm to the sky. Look up at your right hand. Come back to warrior 2. Straighten your right knee. Lean forward. Place your hand on the top of your foot, your shin, and side of your foot on the mat, on the outside on the mat. Reach your left hand toward the ceiling. Let your heart shine. Look up at your left hand. Bend into your right knee and slowly come up to warrior 2. Windmill your hands, not quite. Turn your feet so they're facing the corners of the mat. Come back into goddess. Straighten your knees. We'll do 3 squats here, so come back to goddess for 1. Straighten your knees. Goddess for 2. Straighten your knees. Goddess for 3. Straighten your knees. And turn your left foot so it's at 90 degrees again. Right foot facing the mat. And arms parallel to the mat. Strong here in warrior 2. Windmill your hands down to the mat. Framing your right foot. Step back to plank. Lower to chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. Inhale your right leg up to three-legged dog. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Extend your leg back up to three-legged dog. Exhale, swing your foot through in between your hands. Lower your back knee. Inhale your arms up to a lunge. Press your back foot into the mat as you lift up into crescent lunge. Warrior two. Goddess pose. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Press your palms together. Straighten your knees. Make your toes parallel. Inhale your chest up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring your chest back up. Hands underneath your shoulders. Place your left forearm on the mat or your left hand. Inhale your right hand up to the ceiling. Exhale brings it down. Hands back under your shoulders. Bend your right hand or right elbow. Place your right forearm on the mat or your right hand. Inhale your left arm up to the ceiling. Exhale brings it down. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. Turn your toes out. Rise up into goddess. Straighten your knees. Turn your left foot to face the back of the mat as you turn your right toes in parallel at that 90 degrees. Come into warrior two at the back of your mat. Reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Straighten your front knee. Lean forward, come into triangle. Place your hand where it feels best for you. Slowly rise up. Keep your knees straight this time as you rise all the way up. And then bend into your front knee. Turn both toes so they're facing the corners of the mat. Come into goddess pose. Straighten your knees. We'll do 3 squats again. So goddess for 1. Straighten your knees. Goddess for 2. Straighten your knees. Goddess for 3. Straighten your knees. Come back to warrior 2 at the back of the mat. Bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Press your palms together. Inhale your chest up and exhale, fold. Bringing your chest down and your left shoulder on the inside of your left knee. Continue to bend into that left knee, keeping the knee over the ankle. Your hands come up just like we did in the fold, working your way up overhead. Bring your hands down to the mat. We're going to go into a little bit of a challenge here, if you haven't done this before. Bring your left hand around so it's on the inside of your left foot. And then bring it around the back of your foot. So now it's on the outside of your foot, but your upper arm is around the back of your shin or your calf. We're going to do what's called flying pigeon. And to do that, you start here in this pose and work to get your knee up over your shoulder. Bring your left or right foot to your toes. And to start, maybe just work on getting your hand on the other side of your foot and be comfortable with your hand there. For the next stage, bring your right foot to your toes and start to lean forward, bringing your weight to your hands. Bringing a little less weight into your left foot. And if you're ready to go to the next stage, you may need to heel toe your foot a little bit over to the right so that you can then lift it and wrap your leg around your right arm. Bend your elbows here so you can place the weight of your left thigh onto your elbow and start to lean forward, bringing more weight into your hands. And if you're ready, you can lift your back foot. Release. We won't go into too much of that today. Just to show you how to do that, place your hands on the mat on either side of your left foot. Step back to plank, lower to chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. Inhale your left leg up to three-legged dog. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Straighten that leg. Swing your foot through it between your hands. Lower your back knee. Keep your toes tucked. Inhale up to the low lunge. Exhale. Inhale, press up into crescent lunge. Warrior two. Goddess pose. Straighten your knees, parallel your feet. Bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, press your palms together. Inhale your chest up, and exhale, fold. Release your hands, bring your hands under your shoulders. Keep your spine straight, hovering above the mat here. Bend your right elbow, place your forearm on the mat, or your right hand under your face. Inhale your left hand up to the ceiling. Look up at your right or left hand. Bring it back down. Hands under your shoulders. Bend your left elbow, place your forearm on the mat, or your left hand under your face. Inhale your right hand up to the ceiling. Exhale, squeeze it down under your shoulders. Bend your knees, rotate your feet out to the corners of your mat as you come up into goddess pose. And straighten your knees, turn your right foot toward the front of the mat, left toes toward the left side of your mat. Hands out in either direction. Warrior two, back at the front of the mat. Reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Straighten your right knee, lean forward, hinge at the waist, come into triangle. Place your hand where it feels best for you. Slowly rise all the way back up and bend into your right knee, back to warrior two. Goddess pose. And straighten your legs. We'll do 3 goddess squats. So come back to goddess for 1. Straighten your knees. Goddess for 2. Straighten your knees. Goddess for 3. Straighten your knees. Come back to warrior two at the front of the mat. Bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, push your palms together. Turn your torso so it's facing the left corner of your mat. Inhale your chest up and exhale, fold. Bringing your right shoulder on the inside of your right knee. Bring your hands up over your head. Continue to bend into that front knee, keeping your knee over your ankle. Then place both hands on the mat on the inside of your right foot. And we'll do this flying pigeon together again in stages. Bring your right hand around the back of your right foot. So now it's on the other side of your foot. Your shoulder is under your thigh or your knee. Start to lean forward, placing the weight in your hands, so very little weight in your back foot. If you're ready for the next stage, lift your right foot up off the mat, wrapping your foot around your right arm. If you'd like to go into the next
apart. Bend at the elbows so that your right thigh is resting on top of your right forearm. And lift your back foot. And release. Bring the right hand around the other side. So bring it out from behind and in the front and on the other side. Framing your right foot. Step back to plank. Forward chaturanga. Upward dog. And downward dog. Walk your feet to your hands at the front of the mat. Inhale up to flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse slanted all the way up. Bring your hands up overhead. Then exhale, bring your hands down to your heart center. Right in the middle of your mat. We'll do the challenge that we've been working on this month, which is dancer. So bring your feet together, knees together. Come into, let's start in a mountain pose. So your toes are together. You've got a straight spine here. Palms are shining forward. Chin tucks slightly. You're standing tall and strong. Bend your left elbow with your palm face up as if you're holding a serving tray. And swing it out to the side. Straighten your elbow so your palm is still facing the same way you had it, so it's facing away from you. Bend your left knee as you bring your weight to your right foot. Grab onto the inside of your left ankle with all 5 fingers on the same side. So your wrist didn't change at all. Point your toes, bring your knees back together. Inhale your right hand up overhead with your palm facing forward. We'll do this in stages. So inhale, stretch up through your chest and spine. Exhale, kick. Just to first kick your foot into your hand so you feel that tension with your hand pulling on your foot and your foot pulling on your hand. And then you can start to come forward, bringing your torso forward as you continue to kick into that hand. Go as far as you feel you can hold it. And then release. So we're not going much further than that. We're mostly working on that kick and holding it. Next week, we'll work on kicking your foot overhead a little bit more. Come to the other side. So bring your right hand forward, swing it out to the side, straighten your elbow so your palm is still facing away from you. Bend your right knee, you grab onto the inside ankle with all 5 fingers on the same side. Point your toes. Inhale your left hand up overhead. And first, just kick into your hand. So you feel that tension, hand pulling on foot, foot pulling on hand. And then start to come forward, bring your torso down. Your foot comes up only because you're hinging at the waist. So you're not stretching your foot up. All you're doing is hinging at the waist. And slowly, let's do that one more time. Each side. So I keep turning around so you can see the side that I'm working on a little bit better, but you don't need to turn around. Bring your left hand forward, palm face up as if you're holding a serving tray. Swing it out to the side, straighten your elbow, bend your left knee, grab onto the inside of your ankle, keep your toes pointed. Bring your knees back together. Inhale your right hand up overhead, palm facing forward. Inhale, and exhale, kick your right foot into your hand, feeling that tension. And then start to hinge forward at the waist, bringing your torso down, which then brings your foot out a little more. Continue to kick into that hand so you feel that tension. And then slowly release. Coming out slowly, place your left hand on the mat. Let's do the right side. Bring your right hand out, elbow bent. So you're holding the survey, swing it out to the side, straighten your elbow, bend your right foot or right knee, and grab onto the inside ankle. Press your knees together, keep your toes flexed. Inhale your left arm up, palm facing forward. And first just kick into your hand, feeling that tension, working out of balance, and then start to hinge forward at the waist, bringing your torso down, which brings your foot up. We have these purses that are in my way right here. Slowly rise all the way back up. Turn back so you're facing the front of your mat. Spread your feet so they're about hip width or mat width distance apart. Toes are facing out slightly. Bend your knees and squat down, coming into an Navasana squat. Bring your elbows on the inside of your knees. Bring your hands in prayer to your heart center. Let your heart shine up. Slowly bring your hips all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest. You can lift them off the mat or you can lift them on the mat. Stretch your feet out in front of you. Point your toes. Just feeling that stretch in the back of your calves. Flex your toes. Bring your left foot out a little bit. So you've got your left foot is off the mat a little. Your right foot's still on the mat in front of you. Inhale your arms up overhead. Turn your torso to face your right foot. And exhale, hinge at the waist, coming forward with that flat back. Grab onto your right foot. You can grab onto the outside of your foot here, or if it's not quite available to you, you can grab onto your toes. Inhale again into a flat back. Exhale, fold, stretching your spine over that leg. And release all the way up. We're going to do that one more time, but this time instead of a stretch, we're going to do a compression. So listen carefully as you inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale as you bring your chin to your chest and round through the spine. Think about round through, looking to get your forehead to touch your knee. Go back to that foot. Continue to breathe here. A little bit higher in the compression. It's still very important. Bring your shoulders away from your ears. And release, coming back up. Keeping your feet where they are. Inhale, your arms back up overhead. Turn your torso to face your left foot. And inhale again. And exhale, hinge at the waist, keeping a long spine as you come down over your left leg. Grab onto your foot. You can inhale again. And exhale, fold. Keeping your spine long here. Stretch through the top of your head. Keep your neck straight in line with your spine. And release all the way back up. Inhale your hands up overhead. And this time, we'll do a compression. Inhale again. Exhale, bring your chin to your chest and start to round down, working to get your forehead to touch your knee. Grab onto that foot and hold here. Keep your elbows in, close to your foot, or close to your leg. Continue to breathe here. And slowly release and bring you all the way back up. Bring your hands back down to mat. Bend your left knee and place your foot on the outside of your right leg. Bring your left hand behind your glutes. Inhale your right arm up. Exhale, place your right elbow on the outside of your right knee. Inhale, stretch through your spine. Put your heart shine forward and exhale as you twist deeper into the stretch. Inhale again. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And release. Straighten your left leg. Bend your right knee. Place your foot on the outside of your left leg. Place your right hand on the back of your glutes. Inhale your left hand up. Exhale, place your left elbow on the outside of your right knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And release. Straighten both legs. Point your toes. Place your hands behind your glutes, your fingers pointing toward your glutes. Press your palms into the mat as you lift your hips, coming into reverse plank. Work to get your the soles of your feet to touch the mat. If they're not quite touching, come into reverse tabletop, bending your knees here. Continue to press your hips up. And release your hips all the way back down to the mat. Straighten your legs. Lower your back all the way down. Bend both legs here and place your feet just behind your glutes. Bring your right knee in toward your chest. Rotate your knee out and place your ankle on your left thigh. Flex your right toes. Bring your left knee in toward your chest. Thread your right hand to the hole that you've created and grab onto your shin, interlacing your fingers. Look toward your belly button to help keep your back straight and your spine straight. As you pull your knee into the chest, you can also press your right elbow into your right thigh to help keep that right knee rotated out. And release. Place your right leg back on the mat, or your left knee into your chest, and lengthen both feet. Bend both knees again. Pull your left knee into your chest. Rotate your knee out and place your ankle on top of your thigh, just above your knee. Flex your left toes. Pull your right knee into your chest. Throw your left hand through the hole that you've created. Grab onto your shin. Interlace your fingers. And start to pull your right knee into your chest, keeping your left knee rotated out. You can press your left elbow into your thigh to help you keep that rotated out. And release your left foot all the way to the mat. Bring your right knee into your chest, and then lengthen both feet. Bend your knees again. Place your palms on the mat. And touch your heels with your fingers to make sure your heels aren't pulled in tight, or your feet are close enough to your glutes. Press your palms into the mat as you lift your hips up into bridge. Bring your hands underneath your glutes. Interlace your fingers, press your palms together, and press your wrists into the mat a little bit more. And slowly release all the way down to the mat. Hug your knees into your chest. Lengthen your feet out. Keep your feet about mat width distance apart. Let your feet splay open, your toes splay open. Bring your hands down by your sides and your palms face up. Find a comfortable position on your mat here. Maybe adjust your shoulder blades if needed. Let your tongue relax from the roof of your mouth. Sink into your mat and enjoy your Shavasana here. Relax your breathing. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, your wrists and your ankles. And movement to your limbs. Hug your knees into your chest. Roll onto your side, coming into fetal position. Whatever hand, whatever arm is on top, away from the floor, press that hand into that. Lift yourself up. Come to a comfortable seated position on your mat. Keep your eyes closed. Place your hands in prayer at your heart center. And first, thank yourself for this practice, showing up on your mat today, and letting yourself flow through this practice, for the movement of your body, for your breath. And I thank you for practicing with me as well, for letting me share my love of yoga and this flow with you. The light in me honors, respects, and loves the light in you. Namaste. How was it? My battery life is not lasting as long. I might need to start bringing the plug in. Used to last really well through all of this, and now it's struggling. So I don't really have a ton of time. It was really tough today. Your feet complained a lot. Yeah, we were on our toes quite a bit today. So hopefully you'll have some good rest over the weekend. Go enjoy that nice recliner that you have. I don't have a ton of time because my computer is about to die. It did, like, as soon as we got off last time, it died. So I want to make sure that I have a second to hurry and get this all finished up and ended. Thank you so much, Emily, for joining me. And then anybody else who joins later, thank you so much for joining and for practicing with me. And I hope that you join me again on Monday. Have a good weekend.